lightly. You will never come back to this house. I stood at the doorway, looking at the familiar living room. Brooke sat on the couch wearing my shirt, holding a freshly brewed cup of coffee. She smiled brightly, her eyes filled with contempt. Nathan stood beside her, clutching my scarf. He looked at me, lips curled with disdain. The light in the room fell on his cold expression. Sunlight streamed through the dusty air outside. A chill settled in my chest. Brooke pointed at the sofa, saying, "Sit down." I clenched my fists, remaining still. Nathan picked up one of my old photos and flipped through it. "You've never belonged here," he said. I stared at him, saying nothing. The phone rang. Brooke answered with feigned warmth. I walked into the kitchen and saw the marriage certificate on the table. Our names were on it, yet it was no longer mine. Brooke smiled. "This is a new beginning." Nathan went to the window, looking out at the street. "The hospital said you're unstable," he said. I stared at them coldly, understanding my exclusion. The clock on the wall ticked, marking time. I took a deep breath, keeping my tears at bay. Brooke patted Nathan's hand, signaling me to leave. I didn't respond, turning toward the door. The doorknob was icy, my fingers trembling slightly. Their laughter echoed behind me, sharp and grating. Police sirens came from the corner of the street. 2 officers entered, verifying my identity. "You have a restraining order, you cannot enter," they said. I looked up at them expressionless. A sense of helplessness rose in my chest. Brooke raised an eyebrow at me, contemptuous. Nathan said, "You'd better behave and not cause trouble." I gripped my coat and quietly turned to leave. Sunlight hit my face but brought no warmth. The hallway floor creaked softly underfoot. My steps echoed through the empty apartment. I held my keys, unsure where to go. I rented a small apartment, moving in alone. A few simple clothes lay on the table. Each morning, I got out of bed, brewing black coffee, waking to its aroma. Memories of Nathan altering discharge papers haunted me. Brooke wearing my clothes, laughing at me. I remembered those lonely days in the hospital. Nurses were busy, no one noticed me. The pills left me drowsy, memory blurred. No one comforted me on the day of the miscarriage. My friend Vanessa visited, bringing warmth. She gave me the contact for a private investigator. Thomas Reeves patiently listened as I recounted everything. He organized each document and bill, revealing Nathan and Brooke's secret relationship. I saw bank records showing money transfers, luxury cars and expensive purchases made while I was hospitalized. I took a deep breath, deciding I would no longer endure. Every night, I sorted evidence, photos, documents. My computer displayed every trace of their misconduct. I recalled the miscarriage day, suspecting tampered tea. Thinking of Nathan's cold smirk, Brooke's delight. I knew I had to act, no longer passive. I started exercising to build strength, studying self-defense and legal knowledge. Every night in the small apartment, I planned my revenge. I imagined exposing the truth, watching them tremble. Imagined them begging for explanations in the interrogation room. The potential for revenge built inside me. I knew I could be calm yet decisive. Every step had to be precise, leaving no flaw. Every move designed to trap them with no escape. My reflection in the mirror grew more resolute. The oppressed me became sharp and composed, regaining control of my life and my actions. Even in solitude, I felt fulfilled. Wearing a black coat, I stood at the courthouse doors, holding neatly organized files of evidence. Nathan's face paled when he saw me. Brooke stood beside him, trying to hide. I calmly handed the evidence to the prosecutor, each document clearly detailing their deception. Bank transfers, contracts, photos, all time-stamped. Nathan trembled, taking a small step back. Brooke covered her mouth, trying to stop me. I described in detail the drugging and the deceit. The prosecutor listened, recording every word. Every detail left Nathan without defense. Every piece of evidence implicated Brooke in the conspiracy. Police confiscated their phones and documents. Nathan's hand shook, eyes wide with fear. "I can explain," he whispered. Brooke panicked, her voice quivering. I stared at them coldly, unmoved. The court ruled all assets returned to me. Restraining orders lifted, property and accounts back in my name. Nathan charged with poisoning and fraud, Brooke implicated. They were forced to face reality, helpless. I returned home, reorganizing my belongings. Sunlight poured into the clean room. Old photos and letters sorted and preserved. Friends visited one by one to celebrate with me. I walked into the kitchen, brewing coffee, inhaling its aroma. The aftershocks lingered, yet I felt empowered. Every step of revenge had been calm, precise, and complete. Their trembling and fear reassured me. Justice had finally been served, not empty words. I regained control of my life and freedom. Every breath filled with genuine joy. I knew I could protect my future. The street outside returned to calm, no noise. The room filled with peace, warmth, and light. The oppression I endured became strength. The results of revenge were clear, everyone understood. Nathan and Brooke could never harm me again. I sat, slowly sipping coffee, savoring victory. Every sip symbolized calm, decisiveness. Past shadows were replaced by light. I could finally face tomorrow without fear. I reorganized my clothes, closets neat and orderly. Coffee aroma and sunlight accompanied me all day. Friends' encouragement reminded me I was supported. I backed up every piece of evidence. Every detail documented, leaving no gaps. Thinking of their fearful eyes brought satisfaction. I planned new workouts. Reorganized monthly expenses and savings. Every breath marked freedom and control. At night, I sat on the balcony, watching stars, reflecting. Former loneliness turned into study and preparation. Future plans no longer depended on anyone. I felt strength in body and mind. The wind brushed my face, cool and refreshing. I closed my eyes, savoring each breath. Calm and resolute, no trace of panic. Sunlight illuminated the files on my desk. Each page a testament to effort and victory. Past harm transformed into forward momentum. I organized goals and life rhythms. Every bill clearly under my name. House, car, bank accounts back in my hands. I confirmed all permissions were secure. Friends celebrated my triumph and rebirth. I sat down, sipping coffee slowly, absorbing achievement. The air filled with freedom and calm. Past fear replaced by rationality and action. I knew I could always protect myself. Life fully returned to my control. Past shadows and oppression became motivation. The street outside calm, sunlight flooding the room. I closed my eyes, feeling inner peace and victory. Every step forward now taken with confidence. Facing each new day fearlessly, ready for my new life.